Hey, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project. Just before I get you to our interview, I just wanted to point out that this was recorded on a live Facebook video. Now, the plus side of that is you get to ask questions and get answers from your favorite pageant queens. Unfortunately, the downside, being in Australia with slightly dodgy internet, is that you may hear some audio crackling in the background, and I've actually contacted the people that do our software. There's nothing they can do about it. It's just because Australia is so far from everywhere, so I apologize for that slight loss in audio quality. But if you can put up with that, I do think the flip side is well worth it. So without further ado, let's get you to our interview. Hey everyone, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project, and I'm here with Miss Grand Australia, Kim Gundani. Kim, how are you, aside from your tech issues?
I'm absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for your patience. Technology is a struggle sometimes, isn't it?
For some of us, to be honest, I haven't met a pageant girl yet who is an ace at technology. So maybe technology and pageantry don't go too well together.
I think I'm confirmation that that's true, to be honest.
Well, at least you made it. So what we're going to do is, Kim, can you just turn me down even a little bit more? I'm still getting a little bit of an echo.
How's that?
Yep, that sounds good. What I wanted to ask you is how the preparation is going. First off, when is the international competition, and how long how's the preparation go?
So I will be leaving on Thursday, the 4th of October to go to Myanmar, and right. I'm so excited. I am so excited. It's getting so close, so everything is coming together finally. There is a lot of prep, I have to say. Didn't realize this, but there is quite a lot of prep. So it's just getting these little bits and bobs in place and making sure that everything is done. So I'm very excited.
So give us an idea as to what some of the preparation is, because when I interviewed Lauren, who's Miss Grand Wales, she told me that it's 3 weeks. I almost had a coronary on the spot. And the poor thing, she had to pack everything in one bag. So what preparation involved for you?
I think for me, it was more going from the inside out in terms of finding out why I was doing what I was doing in terms of question and answers. I find when you speak from the heart and it's true to you, it's very simple to answer a lot of the questions. Getting involved with the whole Miss Grand International, Miss Grand Australia, how our advocacy and our platforms link together. There's also the beautifying side of it, which has been a lot of fun, I won't lie. The speaking, learning to walk, and it is a journey. It is a huge journey, but it's an enjoyable journey.
I mean, so you've won the national title, which I think for many people is kind of where the dream is. That's a huge first step. And I asked your predecessor, Cass, about this as well. I asked her whether she was more nervous for nationals or sort of more nervous for international. So how are you feeling going into the international finals versus the national finals?
I think I was a lot more nervous for national finals, to be honest. Being one of the first times I was on stage doing a pageant, but I feel more prepared this time, and having sort of like a wonderful support network has been second to none. I had a great support network before at nationals, but now obviously a lot more people have jumped on board, and they've been really good, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing. So of course you do get those like slight butterflies, but at the same time, you do realize it's a learning experience, and that's you're not going to be good at everything. So it's about trying and keep going. That's what I've learned.
Well, let me ask you. I know a lot of people want to. What does it take in your mind to win a title? Because I've met a lot of pageant competitors, and their dream is to take out a national title. The international sort of doesn't even come into their mind. So in your mind, what made the difference this time, and how did you manage to take out the title?
I think what made the biggest difference is that I was clear on my mission and what I was trying to achieve. So winning the title was a massive bonus, I have to say, but having a plan on if I do win, what am I going to do with that title? If I don't win, what am I still going to do? In the event that it doesn't happen for me. But I think having a clear vision, I think that my vision is to inspire other people. Being the first Black African woman of African descent to win an Australian pageant title has been a big deal. And I think it's important to kind of stand up and be counted and live your dreams and not be so afraid of the outcome. So when you're clarity is key, I think.
So when you went into nationals, did you have a goal to win, or was your goal more based on giving your best?
So I feel as though that's a two-part answer. Yes, my goal was to win, but I was more interested in the progress that I would make. How I would develop during this journey. I wanted to learn more about myself and, putting myself out there and being very visible and being proud of myself at the end of the journey. So to win was huge for me. Didn't expect it. But yes, it's amazing.
But you didn't expect it at all when you were sort of down to the last two.
Yeah, I really didn't think it was me. And then I heard my name being called out and it was like, oh my goodness, it's happened. And it was great.
Well, Olivia Raphael has written, "You're gorgeous. Congrats, babe. You'll do so well."
Thank you, Olivia.
And Olivia, I know, is eager to re-enter a pageant. She's had a bit of a break. And I guess on that note, Kim, how have you felt? So you're not a 17 or 18-year-old. I'm not saying by any means you're old. There's a difference.
I'm a little old.
Well, there's a difference between a teenager and someone who's in their early 20s versus their mid-20s, right? I mean, you've already been through uni, you're already working. So how do you feel? So I guess you came to pageantry a little bit later than some of your competitors in Grand, for example, like Chloe Madison Bryan, who came first runner-up to you. She was only 17. How do you feel pageants changed you or shaped you or helped you grow?
For me, like you mentioned, I was a little bit older getting into the whole pageant scene. And I think the reason why I decided to do it was because I realized that I don't have a lot of time to fulfill my dreams. And it was time for me to really step out and do what I wanted to do and inspire and be seen and inspire other people. It does help, I feel, to have a little bit more of life experience, because that's something that probably sets you apart. But at the same time, it's dependent on the individual. So age is just a number, as they say, as cheesy as that sounds, but it does come down to the person, why they're there. Do they actually love the platform? Do they love the advocacy? Do they understand what the job entails and what it requires? So it's all based on the individual.
Of course. And what drew you to Grand in the first place? Because I know it wasn't your first pageant. What was it in particular that drew you to the Miss Grand system?
Right. So I've worked in child protection before, and domestic violence is such a big thing, not only in the government system, but in Australia. You turn on the news, it's something that you hear. What really attracted me to Miss Grand Australia was that they were working with and still are working with the UN Women to combat domestic violence. And I felt as though that was a massive pull for me to say, okay, I don't feel as though I'm doing enough in what I'm doing at the moment in terms of my job. So why not hopefully win and do something amazing with that platform? So that was the shining star. Another thing in Australia is that it is a sisterhood, which is really nice, and you get a lot of support from people who have previously competed in the system, or just people who want to help out. So it's really good. It's a sisterhood, brotherhood type thing.
Give us an idea. You're heading over to Myanmar in, well, I guess it's 2 weeks. So have you had any interaction with your sisterhood, with the national title holders from the other countries yet?
Yes. We are all on the same WhatsApp/Instagram group, which is a lot of fun. And you'll find that we're the Miss Grand National winners are so friendly. We talk all the time, and yeah, it's really good. Sometimes you wake up and you have quite a few notifications because I live on the other side of the world. So it's very hard to catch up on what happened while I was asleep. But no, it's amazing. It is amazing. And we keep each other up to speed and trying to figure out who's going to be landing where and if we can meet up and things like that. So it's good. It's very good.
And how many countries are you talking about?
So far?
Well, in total, how many countries are competing at Miss Grand?
They're still coming in. There's still more winners being announced. So it's not final yet. But I think last year it was around about 76 almost, if not more. So I think it's just under 80. So it's going to be good. I'm just going to say 80 because we still have a little bit of time and winners are still being announced. So yeah.
I can't believe the winners are just now.
Yeah, they're ready to go though.
Oh, I'm sure. So heading into this international one, it's obviously a lot bigger on a bigger stage. So how have you been preparing yourself for this one, given that you already won the national title, you did so well? So what sort of preparation did you feel you still had to do, or areas that you wanted to still improve on before hitting the international stage?
Right. I think a big area for me was sort of learning how to walk like a pageant queen, a national winner. So that was one of my biggest things that I felt that I needed to take away and do that and really focus on that and make sure that I got that a little bit right. I think it's just a journey, and there are other things as well that I thought I was good at, and I found out actually quite mediocre at that. So we'll pick it up and, do more and practice more in that field and in that area. And it's if I show you the spreadsheet, it's quite big. So there are a lot of things.
What's this spreadsheet?
There's spreadsheets for wardrobe, spreadsheets for the things you need to do, spreadsheets for things you need to get, spreadsheets.
Being the tech genius that you are, I'm sure you're on top of all of it.
Oh, I've just discovered how to Dropbox properly, so...
God. Okay, so you mentioned walk. But I mean, you had to walk at Miss Grand Australia. So what do you mean by you really had to learn how to walk like a pageant queen? So what have you learned? What's the fine distinction? Because obviously I have no idea what it's like to walk as a pageant queen.
Okay, so it's a little more in the hips there. Yes, there's a little bit more hip movement that has to happen there. And I found I was a little stiff when I watched my playback, and I thought, I can improve on that. I can do that. I don't have a history in modeling or anything like that, but hey, it's a learning experience for me, and I'm coming in with open arms and as an empty glass. So I think it's the best way to enter anything if you're willing to learn something new.
Yeah. So what part of it are you always looking forward to?
Evening gown and meeting all my sisters. Definitely. I love evening gown.
That sounds good. So it's a 3-week competition. Can you give us an idea of what the agenda is for 3 weeks? Because I think Lauren said basically it just says activities. Have you gotten any clearer on what you actually have to do each day, or is it still sort of 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. activities?
There is a more nuanced, detailed version of the activities, but we'll be traveling around Myanmar and flying to different regions too, and doing a bit of sightseeing and getting to know the people and the culture, which is something I'm completely looking forward to. That's at the top of my list. And they're very organized, very, very organized. So you know what you're doing each day, and it looks like a lot of fun, I have to say.
And have you given any thought yet to what you're going to do afterwards? I guess win, take the crown or not, or have you not really had a chance to think that far ahead?
Always, always. I think preparation is always something that you need to have, and I like to plan in different strides. So whether it happens or it doesn't, there is a lot of things that I'd love to do. But I think at the top of it would be the Stop the War and Violence campaign, whether that's doing it internationally or in Australia. It's something that I would love to keep going with, especially raising awareness about domestic violence. But not only that, finding out from my fellow sisters what their advocacies are about and what affects their country and why they've picked their Stop the War and Violence campaign would be quite interesting as well.
Sure. Now, can I ask you, away from the pageant, because I know that you have a life outside of pageantry, how would you describe sort of your daily life and who Kimberly Gundani is outside of the pageant arena?
Okay. Oh, wow.
Describe
a
a
really
typical
good
day
question.
in the life of.
Typical day in the life of. Okay, so I wake up pretty early. I would say try to wake up at 4:45, 5 in the morning, something like that. I then take a little bit of time to meditate, do something that's away from technology, and then I go to the gym. Yeah, it's a very regimented life, I have to say. Go to the gym, come back, get ready, go to university, and do more of my studies, which I'm doing my Masters of Law at the moment, which is really interesting. Come back. When pageant season is on, I'm doing some prep in the evening as well, finding things that I need to do, rehearsing, and at some point we watch a bit of Netflix for an hour and I'm back at it again. That's a typical day in the life at the moment.
Okay, two questions. Number one is, what do you watch on Netflix? And number two, how would your closest friends describe you?
Okay, all right. What do I watch on Netflix? I'm a science nerd. I will never lie about this. So I am watching Star Trek Discovery.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
Before I interviewed you, I was watching reruns of Deep Space Nine.
Exactly. I'm watching all of Deep Space Nine, Discovery, Stargate. I've gotten back onto that. I'm a massive nerd. I love to bake, so I love watching Nailed It as well, and just in the background and watching people fail it or nail it. It's great. How would my friends describe me? I think they would say I'm extremely ambitious. And that's a good thing for me anyway. And I think I'm extremely ambitious because I see something and I think of ways of getting to that point. And I'm a learner. I think if they saw me if they had to say that, they'd say she's a learner. She's not afraid to learn and not do it right. And progress over perfection. That's one mantra I've kept going over and over again. And relentless. Yeah, relentless. I think so. And a giving spirit and a giving heart, because I do love to reach out to my community. And that's something that gives me a lot of joy and a baseline. So that's nice.
Can you give us an example of relentless nature?
Relentless nature. Okay. I think I adopt it in everything that I do. In terms of whether that's pageantry or that's university, I'm so involved. I'm either in or I'm not. And when I'm in, I give absolutely everything that I've got. And if that means that I have to study for a longer period of time, or I have to keep walking for a longer period of time, or I have to find people who know more than I do, and connecting with people who are like the best in their field and not being afraid to approach them, I think that's a relentless nature and not taking no for an answer in a very nice, polite way, but always knowing that, you know what, if one door closes, then there's a window. Try the window.
Kim, can you just turn me down again? I'm really loud in my own ears and I don't want to hear myself talking. It's horrible for me. The last thing I need to hear is my own voice. That's much better. Now, Kim, I was going to ask you, do you know where you want to be? Because you mentioned that you're ambitious. So what is for you, do you know where you're going to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years? Are there big long-term goals, or are you more the short-term sort of person?
So I'm a bit of both, actually. In terms of sort of right now, my goal, my vision is Miss Grand International. I would be stoked if that was me, and that would be an amazing thing, because that way I would be able to really work with Miss Grand International in their advocacy and go to places affected by war and violence. So that's the cherry on the top. Like that's definitely the best thing that could happen. In terms of my studies, I will definitely finish my master's and then pursue going into the law industry perhaps, and studying family law a little bit more and becoming a barrister representing children and families. That's something that I think that would make me very happy. Yeah.
Right. That sounds like a plan. And Kim, for people who want to follow your journey, this will be testing your technological expertise. What are the best social media platforms to get a hold of you on?
Awesome. So it's Kimberly Gundani on Instagram, Kimberly Gundani on Facebook. I just like to keep my name. It's good.
And you've also I've put underneath your webcam, you're on at Miss Grand Australia as well on Instagram.
Perfection. That's right. I'll be there too.
So lots and lots of accounts to follow you on. All right, Kim. So we have actually interviewed once before. And for those people who are watching, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. But do you remember your answers to all the 10 questions?
No. I guess that's why it's going to be so interesting, isn't it?
That's good. I mean, I like asking people the same question and seeing their answers change, because that means, life has actually moved on. So we're going to end with the same 10 questions. I'm sure some will be the same and others will be different. I can't remember all of your answers, to be honest.
Sounds good.
Let's see where they go. So question 1 is, what is your favorite word?
Oh, cake.
God. Why?
Because it's just delicious. No, seriously, my favorite word would have to be it's 2 words. Goal chaser. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
I'll give you 2.
Cake. I think I can get an idea as to how your preparation is going if your favorite word is cake. Okay. What sort of cake?
All kinds of cake. I don't discriminate.
You're an equal opportunity.
Black Forest.
Nice. Okay. Question 2, what is your least favorite word?
Can't.
I get the feeling that's the same as before. I don't have to ask why. I know why, but you can explain it to our viewers if you feel like it.
Sure. I think it's about mindset and knowing that you can achieve absolutely anything that you want to achieve. Perspective is everything. And if you tell yourself that you can't do something, you definitely won't do it and you won't be able to. So changing the messages and the words that you say to yourself is really important, and going out there and changing your own life and other people's lives in a positive way is important. So can't is not a word I like. You can. Yes, you can.
Number 3, in life, what excites you or what turns you on?
What excites me? Challenges. Dreaming bigger than I ever thought I would dream. Teenage secondary school Kim would have never done this. Oh no. 2 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that this could be happening in my life, but it comes back down to dreaming and still having a heart of service and understanding why you're doing what you want to do. And that keeps me ticking. Knowing that I'm not perfect, that everything isn't done yet, and I'm growing, I'm molding, and I can always change and I can always learn is the best thing that I think I've learned throughout my journey, being a learner, inhabiting the mindset of a learner, and keep going with that.
And what about what turns you?
Ooh. That's a good one. I think what turns me off is, I would say, just keeping your self-talk positive. Like if you stop doing that, then definitely you'll get in your own way. I think one of the best quotes that I've been, reading and hearing throughout this journey is negativity affects performance. So be very careful what you say to yourself and what you let into your sphere.
Absolutely. Okay, what about what sound or noise turns you... So what sound or noise do you love?
Sound or noise? Oh, the fridge door.
I'm beginning to notice a pattern here, Kim.
Oh, sound or noise? No. Sound or noise do I love? Yeah, no, it would have to be that hot pot crackling type thing. They're all food related sounds.
I think last time you said it was the sound of a coffee machine.
Coffee like beans grinding.
The grinding of the beans.
How could I forget that? See, that was the morning and this is the night, so...
We're getting both sides of Kim, the morning Kim and the evening Kim.
Both sides, exactly. But coffee beans grinding is a great one too.
Okay, well, what sound or noise do you hate?
Oh, the sound or noise that I hate. I think anything that's just loud banging, slamming of doors type of sounds. Just close them nicely.
Okay. What about if you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
Oh, if I could have one superpower, I think I would be able to clone myself. Into 4 or 5 people so that we could achieve all the goals and the dreams that we have, like I have. I say we now, you can hear that I already have clones. We are now a plural.
I've been hearing this. You've been addressing yourself as the royal we. So you've got this whole queen thing happening.
Oops. So I think that way I think you could have like multiple Kims doing more charity work and doing more service, because I feel like that's something that I could be doing more of. It's just time constraints and being one person. And but instead of cloning myself, I have an incredible support team. So that works out too.
That's the next best thing.
Exactly. And might I say they're actually better than 5 Kims, I'd say.
Well, I guess if you have 5 Kims, it multiplies the strengths, but it also multiplies the weaknesses.
Oh, yes. No. I think I'll keep the team. I think
that's probably a solid choice. Okay. If you could have, question 8, if you could try any occupation other than your own, what would you most like to attempt?
If I could try any occupation, that's a good one. I think I would try and anything but my own. I'd love to learn how to fly. Yeah, I'd love to be a pilot or, something in the air. I always thought it was a fascinating career, but never courageous enough to try it. So, hey, you never know. We could be talking about my flying career next time.
Sounds good. Okay, well, what about what occupation other than your own would you definitely not like to attempt?
I don't think there's any occupation that I wouldn't want to attempt. I think anyone who puts themselves out there to feed their family, to make sure that, their people are provided for, I respect that. So I'm open to any career path and wherever life takes me at this point. So, yeah.
How would you feel about working at the Apple Genius Bar?
I don't think they would like me very much. I don't think I'd last very long on account of not being very good with technology. So
I'd like to see it.
Oh, I'd say turn it on and off.
Well, at the end of the day, that's all tech people say is if it doesn't work, turn it off, turn it on. Okay, so final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Great question. I think it would be you looked outside yourself, you weren't afraid to go out to reach people and to meaningfully make a difference in their lives. I think that would be the ultimate, compliment, to know that I didn't just stay in my comfort zone, wasn't afraid, that my hand was open to give, but I also received things that were, just that self-satisfaction, knowing that you've made a difference in someone's life. Just one person, that would make me happy. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I'm sure you have and will continue to make a difference in more than one person's life. But so. Kim, best of luck. So you're leaving on the 4th of October, is it?
Yes.
So that's about a week's time?
A week. We have a week.
Wow. Okay, so any preparation still left to go, or is everything on track and everything's good to go?
Almost on track. I think it's just waiting for things to come in and then packing them down and then off we go.
And how many bags are you taking? As I said, poor Lauren has to just take one bag. How many bags are you taking?
Yeah, I feel Lauren's pain. I think it's the Commonwealth thing. At the moment, I think it's 30 kilos. Yeah, so it's about one bag, honestly. For 3 weeks, it would be fine if it wasn't a pageant, but we might need to up that somehow and find a way to get all my clothes, because I have quite a few. Just a few.
How many outfits do you have? I think from memory, Lauren had like 41 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Yeah, 41. Yeah, almost, if not more.
In one suitcase.
That's the trouble that we're having. That's the trouble that we're having. You can't really fit 41 items of clothing and toiletries in 30 kilos. It's almost impossible. And some of my stuff is quite heavy too, because one dress can weigh like 10 kilos. So.
Of course. Well, I don't envy whoever has to pack your bag. They're going to have a really, really difficult job in front of them.
I do.
Well, good luck. Good luck with the pageant, but also good luck getting there and getting your bag together.
Thank you.
And I'm going to keep you on the line for just a sec. I'm going to thank everyone for watching, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Hey, it's Adrian. Thanks so much for listening to our podcast. Make sure to subscribe to get details of our new episodes as they drop, and connect with us on social at The Pageant Project. Speak to you next.